I knew my mother was dying. I got a call from my sister that she thought it was the end. I've been taking care of her for a long time, and she's had nurses and so forth over the years. And even when she didn't need nurses, she's had nurses. She just liked having all these people. And my sister said, I don't know, I think that you know, this may be the end. She gave me a hug, and it was the kind of hug that said she was saying goodbye. So I hopped on a plane, and I went early, and I surprised my mother, and she's like sitting in this little room where she loves sitting in this room where it's like 80 degrees, and she just watches TV all day. And I sat with my mother, and I said, I don't know if you're gonna make it. Do you think you're gonna make it? And she said, I don't think I am. And I had a conversation with her about what that felt like and what it felt like to be near the end. And I started telling all the people who cared about her that she knows it's the end. So if you want to say goodbye, you should come and say goodbye. So that's what happened. And people would come in, and she would tear up when she saw them, and you could see the appreciation and love that she felt for them. And then I said to her, what a wonderful thing to be able to say goodbye, because she's completely coherent and perfectly understanding everything. And then I left, and I left knowing that that was going to be the last time. This was on a Thursday, because I had to speak in Boston. I stood in the doorway and I said goodbye, and I knew it was going to be the last time I said goodbye, although I didn't say to her, this is the last time I'm going to say goodbye. Next day, I had a bunch of meetings in California, and I canceled all of those meetings, and I went back to Milwaukee because I felt like I had not closed it. I felt like I knew it was the end, but I wanted to make sure she knew it was the end and that I said everything I wanted to say. So I went back, and I spent some more time, and I sat in that hot room, and I watched The Bold and the Beautiful, and I watched The Young and the Restless, and I watched The Price is Right, and I watched Steve Harvey, and I watched Steve Harvey on the Game Channel, and I watched it in a loop, and I sat in the room, and I was about to lose my freaking mind in that room. But I just sat, and I waited for a way to say what I wanted to say. And I couldn't find it that day. And the next morning I woke up, and I was actually praying for what is a way I can have this conversation about the end. How do I close it? And it's really interesting because I'd already gotten hospice care, and in the hospice care they have a little book about the little conversations, and I thought, isn't it strange? I am Oprah Winfrey reading a hospice care book on what to say at the end. And I just thought, what is the truth for me? That there isn't going to be an answer in a book. What is the truth for me? What is it that I need to say? And what I said was, thank you. As a young girl, having a baby in Mississippi, no education, no training, no skills, 17, you get pregnant with this baby. Lots of people would have told you to give that baby away. Lots of people would have told you to abort that baby, and you didn't do that. And I know that was hard, and I want you to know that no matter what, I know that you always did the best you knew how to do. And look how it turned out. And then I told her, you should go in peace. I told her, because my mother has had diabetes, and 3 years ago she knew she should have had dialysis, and she didn't want to do it. And it was her choice not to do it. I said, you should do whatever your body tells you to do. Nobody's going to force you to do what you want to do. I said, you made the best decision for you, but now your body's shutting down, and this is what's happening. Now the rest of your organs are going to start to shut down. Your kidneys have shut down, your organs are going to shut down. And what you want it to be, what I want it to be, is as peaceful as possible. And in that moment, my sister was in the room, and you know, my mother's had real problems since my sister came back from the adoption. And my sister said, you know, please forgive yourself, because I've forgiven you for giving me away. It was just really sacred and beautiful. And I would say to anybody, and if you live long enough, everybody goes through it, say the things that you need to say while the people are still alive, so that you are not one of those people living with regret about what you woulda, shoulda, coulda said.